So move acquisition in the career mode is accomplished via the fight camps. We have most of the top tier fight camps from the UFC available in the game. So you go through and you choose, I want to learn a specific move. I'm going to go to one of the various top camps that we have in the game, and then you're able to learn specific things about your discipline that you're interested in, or learning a specific move. For example, here I'm working on some focus sparring with Greg Jackson, hitting the pads, working it a little bit. We also give you the opportunity to fight against real UFC fighters. You see, they don't need any training gear because you suck, and they don't. So they're helping you train for your fight, and this is kind of a cool way that we're able to bring these guys into the game as well and kind of help you out in your career. It's a great way to kind of get points towards your character and build up specific moves. So it's kind of up to you to see which camp offers you which opportunities. We have this other thing called game plan. That's something that you can add to your training calendar. Basically, if you don't want to train a specific thing for a certain fight, you're going up against a guy with, say, a strong ground game, you set up this game plan. It's a one-fight bonus. You lose a week, but it ups or downs your skills for a particular fight. You get to use it once per training session, so it's a cool addition. We also give you the opportunity to change weight classes this year. That's new from last year, so tear through a division and you might get the opportunity to move into another weight class and see how you do there. So obvious cool addition that we felt was necessary for this year. It's a lot more presentation, as I mentioned, this year. Here we have an example of our pre-fight weigh-in with our created fighter, and there's that long hair again. Going up against Rampage Jackson here for the light heavyweight championship. We got Joe in the background, the Octagon Girls. And our game is watching you permeates this aspect as well. I talked about respecting your opponent, disrespecting your camp. Your consequences are going to be noted throughout the game. AI is going to change depending on how you fight. You'll get call-outs from Buffer and Goldie, as well as Joe, talking about things that you've been doing in your career. So it's a much more immersive experience that you're going to find, not only physically, but also from an emotional standpoint as well.
Coming up next, it's a light heavyweight title fight between Quentin Rampage Jackson and Suave.
Yeah, this should be an exciting fight. I say we're pretty evenly matched, but I'm going to make a statement when I get inside the octagon.
You aren't as good as your last fight most of the time, and you make a bad move, he can probably take you out. So this is a very important fight.
So you got a little taste of our creative fighter and career mode. Omar's going to take you through the gameplay improvements. Anybody here come to the Vegas event? Anybody? All right, only a few of you. I don't have to change my attitude. Cool. So this is the locked out build, which you'll have the opportunity to play as we later on tonight. Omar and I will go through a lot of the gameplay improvements that went into the game and kind of indicate how to do them via the controls. So this is really an opportunity for you guys to kind of see what we're doing and take notes and get to try it out yourself. Sorry. So obvious choice here for this weekend's fight. We'll go through and pick the venue, keep it Canadian.
Coming up next, it's the UFC welterweight title fight between George Rush St. Pierre and Dan the Outlaw Hardy. Our tale of the tape for this title fight in the welterweight division. And now with our official introductions, Bruce Buffer.
And now, 5 rounds for the UFC Welterweight Championship of the World. Introducing first, the challenger, fighting out of the blue corner. This man is a mixed martial artist. He stands 6 feet tall, weighing in at 170 pounds. Fighting out of Nottingham, England, Dan the Outlaw Hardy. And now, introducing the champion fighting out of the red corner. This man is a wrestler weighing in at 170 pounds, fighting out of Montreal, Quebec, Canada. Ladies and gentlemen, he is the reigning, defending UFC welterweight champion of the world. And when the action begins, our referee in charge of this contest is Mario Yamasaki.
Alright, this is for the championship bout. I want you guys to do a clean fight. Follow my orders at all times. Defend yourself at all times. Good luck tonight. Touch gloves.
There she is, the one and only Ariani.
All right, so you can see there's a lot of improvements. We made, crowds looking better, a lot more dynamic lighting. Shaders got a lot improved. Southpaw switching, click in on the right stick for the guys who have it. Can switch back and forth. So obvious improvement to this year's game. One of the other visual ones is this concept of sways and leans. You can see here holding on the right bumper, RB, and flicking left and right on the left stick. I'm able to dodge punches, get out of the way, and I can actually counter off of these as well. So here I can counter back. Now we have this concept of risk reward. If I do these front leaning sways, that's going to be less risky for me as opposed to like a left or right leaning sway. And the resulting counter is going to be more powerful. Last year the game was kind of very rangy. People were coming in from this distance, so we really felt we needed to have this inside game available, to kind of take advantage of the new gameplay. The clinch game also got improved. We introduced this concept called the unified grappling system. We basically took the ground control dynamic, those quarter circle and greater than quarter circle turns, and applied them to the clinch game. So you can see here I'm executing those quarter circle turns, and I'm able to execute pummeling in the clinch. I can also do throws from here as well. I'm able to use the technique and do those quarter circle turns, technique buttons at LB up here, and do a quarter circle turn, and I'll be able to execute a throw. So even though the game retains the depth that the Undisputed franchise is known for, it's still going to be a lot more accessible. That applies up here. You can see I can get in the Muay Thai, I can push my guy up against the cage using the left stick, just pushing forward. His attacks are going to be less effective. You can see systemically and visually, they just look kind of sorry. I can do takedowns from the cage here. I'm in a double leg. I switch now to a single leg, and I'm able to actually utilize that risk-reward concept again to where now I'm actually in half guard as opposed to I might have been in full guard in the previous one. We have the subject of, this advent of posturing in the game. You can see here I do a minor transition, 12 o'clock to 9 o'clock. I posture up, and this allows me to unleash fight-ending punches. You can get rocked in any position this year, and you can finish the fight from any position this year. So posturing up allows you to do that. Our submission system got much improved as well. See here as I get into side controls. So I can initiate a submission clicking in on the right stick. And as I initiate the submission, I start spinning on the right stick. You're seeing the camera move in as I'm more victorious. The arm is actually moving in the correct position. As Omar's fighting back, camera is straightening out. As I fight, it goes in. So we're giving you a much more analog, much more elegant representation of the submission system. And last year we had these sort of static states that you might have been in an initiation, a mid-tier, and then a finishing. So we give you a better opportunity to kind of see the victory or defeat. And it's much more educational as well. You're actually seeing why a submission is happening, why it's going to be painful. I'm giving GSP a lot of good advice. You can see me in the background there. I'm very vain to put this up in the game again.
Listen, son, we're losing this fight for points. Look me in the eye and take a deep breath. Keep with me on this, because you're not keeping with me.
Let's take a look at some of that action here.
So again, utilizing those quarter circle turns, like there, obviously I can perform throws from that. Again, so it's basically taking a dynamic that we felt was very effective and then applying it to other aspects of the game. So you're not having to constantly relearn, the control scheme. So please, when you guys get a chance to play, try those quarter circle turns and greater than quarter circle turns in the clinch. It's definitely something that I think made the gameplay a lot better.